Barbados ready to host the ICC T20 World Cup final. Barbadians heed the call to represent the national colours of blue, yellow and black on Flag Day. Senators have their say on the Child Justice Bill 2024. And in sports, the Windies take the T20 International Women's Series against Sri Lanka.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening, I'm Pearson Bowen. The eyes of the world are focused on Barbados as the island is on the cusp of hosting its third ICC World Cup final. Thousands of visitors are here for the game, scheduled for 10:30 in the morning at Kensington Oval, and it is there that we join Anne-Marie Burke for a sense of what tomorrow could be like. Good evening, Anne-Marie.
Well, we're here at Kensington Oval right now with just about 12 hours to go before the start of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Well, right behind me, as you can see, is in pretty much darkness. You're just a few members of staff and the technical crew is here setting up for what is the finals of the Men's T20 World Cup here at the Mecca at Kensington Oval. It was 3 weeks of the best cricket the world had to offer, and now it's down to two teams. India, who are looking for a World Cup title since 2007, and South Africa going for their first ever World Cup title after knocking on the door for several years, getting to the semi-final stage, but now finally getting into that big showpiece. Of course, the first ball is set to start at 10:30 a.m. and the all-important final pitch is fully covered. We just had some showers of blessing here at Kensington Oval, but nevertheless, we're looking forward to great cricket tomorrow. Both teams are expected to bring quality cricket, as both of them coming undefeated. Now, having hosted the group stage and 3 of the Super 8 matches, games in the initial reports come in and suggest that Barbados has been successful in their hosting of the T20 World Cup. But this is according to Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley. She knows that the necessary reflections will be done after tomorrow's final. She was speaking at a press conference this morning at Ilara Court, and our Rachel Agard was there and files this report.
On the eve of Barbados hosting the finals of one of the biggest sporting events in the world, Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley says the island has generally had a successful tournament, and she's thankful to Barbadians for their efforts in that regard. She was speaking at Ilara Court following a presentation of limited edition rum from Mount Gay Distilleries and Stade's West Indies Rum Distillery to mark CARICOM's 50th anniversary.
Well, I want to thank Barbadians, and I want to thank those particularly who were on the front line of allowing us to be a good host for this event. I want to thank all who addressed across the region the importance of having the region be able to once again host this event. We had a variation this time with the United States of America, and that portends other things that we will have to discuss as we go forward. But I think we've done well.
Further, Prime Minister Motley says she is hopeful to meet with cricket officials and hold discussions on future possibilities. She also urges cricket officials to come together for the good of the sport in the region.
I have every confidence that our people can rise to the top in cricket again, but it requires a number of things coming together. And I hope that when the Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on Cricket meets with the heads of the West Indies cricket boards, different associations, and CWI next week, that we can truly act in a singular way. Government's not in any way crowding out the administrators of cricket, but being supportive on the developmental level. I hope that we can use this as a learning point. I think the guys tried hard. I think there's some things that we could have done differently, but by the same token, I think that we're proud of them. But we recognize now is time for us to put our heads down and singularly seek to do that which a generation who inspired us into excellence in every aspect of our lives did from the mid-70s right through for 70 years.
Tomorrow, all roads lead to the Mecca to see who will be crowned champion of this year's T20 World Cup. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
And of course, there has been much logistical preparation in the lead to tomorrow's final. Traffic is well taken care of. Communications and Public Relations Officer Inspector Roddy Ennis said they used information from the previous matches and they fine-tuned their plan.
We're well prepared for it. All aspects of our policing duties are there, especially the traffic management, which will affect each and every one coming to the Kensington Oval. We put a number of diversions in place for tomorrow, anticipating the whole listing of events, but we are quite satisfied. We are very satisfied in that we have enough personnel on the ground, and we ask for the public's interaction, that they will comply with all the directions of police officers seeking to help them and help move the traffic smoothly. There will be backups. There will be backups, and we are asking drivers, pedestrians, road users alike to comply with the police officers and do what they know is best in terms of helping us to move traffic efficiently through the area in and around Kensington Oval.
Now, the park and race system will also be in full effect tomorrow for that World Cup final. Manager of Marketing and Corporate Communications at the Transport Board, Linda Holder, says the pickup locations remain the same.
Those will be Queen's College, Garfield Sobers Gymnasium, coming from the outer edges. On Mighty Granite Highway, you also have Deacon's Pasture. If you're coming from the south of the island, you will have the space opposite Bethel Church that we've named the proposed site for Hyatt. And further down, you will have the BTI car park on Bay Street, kind of opposite what is Larry Dash, so persons will know exactly what we're speaking of. Those are the spectator parking sites. And from each of those sites, we will have vehicles moving you back and forth.
Now, Ms. Holder also indicated how people should access the service after the match.
For persons coming from the gymnasium, you will be dropped at Westbury Road, and the driver will tell you when he's dropping you off, this is where I will pick you up from. Persons coming from Queen's College, you will be dropped in the vicinity of Central Purchasing around the Elsie Payne roundabout area, and they will also say this is the area I will collect you from, so you know exactly where you're going to be. And then there is a huge taxi sign that is over by what we call Central Purchasing. And in that area, you can always go to board something that will take you back to either the Deacon's Pasture or the Hyatt or Bay Street sites that you would have boarded from.
So, as you can imagine, it's very quiet now here at Kensington Oval. We can expect spectators to flow into the venue from about 8 a.m. when the doors open. As early as possible, get down to Kensington Oval to secure your seats and to ensure that you pass security, etc. As the much anticipated T20 final of the ICC Men's World Cup comes to Barbados tomorrow here at Kensington Oval. We are ready. Pearson, are you?
As ready as you are. Thank you, Anne-Marie Burt, for reporting there from Kensington Oval. In related news, Barbadians heeded the call today and turned out in their national colours across the length and breadth of the island. This after Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley designated today Flag Day and urged all and sundry to show their national support with prominent displays of the blue, yellow and black. A CBC crew took to the streets today, and this is what people had to say.
I'm a proud Barbadian. I was born and bred here in Barbados, and it gives me great pleasure to support my country wearing my national colours.
From the time I was small and I see independence, it means something to me. So that's why I wear them. I thought more people think about it. People like they're interested in them, so, but I feel good about it.
I'm very proud. You got me ups and downs, but what? Give God thanks. This is we country.
By virtue, Barbadians are very patriotic persons. So Republic Bank asked her to call. The Prime Minister spoke on, I believe it was Thursday. She spoke on Wednesday. So we asked her to call. We are all here decked out in our national colours today. So here we are, Republic Bank, Broad Street branch. We are proud to be Barbadians. Blue, yellow and black, put it up. Blue, yellow and black, put it up.
Well, the other big news today has been the weather, as Barbados Meteorological Services continues to monitor a tropical wave located in the eastern Atlantic. Home Affairs and Information Minister Wilfred Abrams is urging Barbadians to be prepared. He's also urging them to use the Barbados Met Services as it's a reputable information source.
We know what we're supposed to do. We know what is expected. The message doesn't generally change year to year. We need to stock up on water. We need to stock up on non-perishable items. We need to keep our cell phones charged. We need to make sure that we have the medication that we're supposed to have, all these things. But we will circulate all this information again over the next couple of days so that you are fully informed as to what is happening. The Met Services has been keeping on top of this system. We've been getting the constant updates from the Met Services. And I wish at this point in time to thank the Barbados Met Services for the excellent job that they're doing. The government has invested a lot in the infrastructure and the technology of the Barbados Met Services, and this has shown in the accuracy of their predictions, in their forecasting, and in their spot-on advice to the people and the government of Barbados. A number of people have been looking online and following different persons and have been flooding us with calls where the modeling appears to be different from ours. The Barbados Met Services does not only rely on its own modeling, it actually has its own modeling, but the advice is informed by a number of models, including models relied on by the National Hurricane Center and other Met Services in the region.
The full statement from the Home Affairs Minister will be broadcast right after this newscast. We'll take a break here, but Barbados to receive $56 million from the International Monetary Fund. Barbados is set to receive a $56 million payout from the International Monetary Fund on Tuesday. This has been confirmed by Minister in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs Ryan Strawn. This follows the IMF Executive Board's conclusion of the third reviews under the Extended Fund Facility and the Resilience and Sustainability Facility. The latest payout will bring the total disbursements under the EFF to about $75 million and about $112 million under the RSF. A statement from the IMF says Barbados' economy has recovered to pre-pandemic levels and its external position has improved. GDP growth is expected to remain strong in 2024, driven by further growth in the tourist arrivals. Turning attention now to the Upper House of Parliament, Minister of Energy and Business Development, Senator Lisa Cummins, is pleased that the child justice legislation introduced the concept of parental accountability. Opening debate on the Child Justice Bill 2024, Senator Cummins pointed out that the legislation makes provision for parents to be held accountable in certain circumstances when their children are before the court.
When we start to deal with accountability for parents, parents have to understand that what you pour into a child, if it is predominantly good, that is what comes back out. If you pour in abuse, cursing, drugs, neglect, all kinds of things, that is what will come out a lot of times, Mr. President. And so we have to pour into the cups that are our children that which we want to come back out, and what we want to come back out must be that which is good and beneficial to a collective community and a collective society.
Government Senator John King is calling for policies to protect people working with children in the justice system. Mr. King, who is also a qualified social worker, says based on his time spent working in the system, there must be further discussion regarding the protection of people working in juvenile facilities and other areas.
In this conversation about child justice and child protection, as a person who worked in the system, there's very little that speaks to the protection of the people who have to work with these children. And because the children are not like children of the past, and I want to make this clear in this chamber, you can have a situation, if you are not careful, where a staff member is either severely damaged or can die at the hands of an aggressive child.
Opposition Senator Tricia Watson says all students should be made to feel good about their 11+ results. She says she's concerned about the negative feedback some children receive when they tell others what secondary school they will attend.
We need to make all of our children feel that when they get that result, when they open that slip, what they are doing is patting themselves on the back for completing one phase. And I'm talking about society. We need to make the children feel this way, because it's not just parents. Because when these children walk around and people say to them what school you're going to, if you don't call certain names, they are made to feel like they are less than, and that is not okay, and it has to stop. And that is on all of us. All of us. And these children need to pat themselves on the back, and they need to say phase 2.
30-year-old Deshaun Shaquille Harper has been formally charged with the murder of Jermaine Babb last Friday, June the 21st. The Lower Wavell Avenue, Blackrock St. Michael resident was arrested by officers from the Blackrock Police Station's Criminal Investigations Department. The victim, Babb, reportedly succumbed to his injuries after being stabbed numerous times while at a bar and a residence in the early hours of the morning. Harper appeared before Magistrate Manila Renee at the District A Magistrates Court yesterday and was remanded to Dodds Prison. He is scheduled to reappear on Thursday, the 25th of July.
Sports Night is brought to you by Power In, Pause is Power, and by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after.
In sports tonight, all systems are go for the ICC Men's T20 International World Cup final set for Kensington Oval tomorrow. It will be South Africa versus India, and local officials say the region's Mecca is fully prepared for the world event. Anmar Goodrich-Boyce reports.
The ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup final will be played right here behind me at Kensington Oval. It's match number 55. And of course, the stakes are high. South Africa versus India. And from a hosting point of view, Barbados is ready for the big event. According to chairman of the local organizing committee, Ambassador Noel Lynch, Barbados has done reasonably well in hosting 8 matches so far, and he expects nothing less for the final. Speaking during an interview with CBC Sports, Ambassador Lynch said officials have been working around the clock to ensure the final goes to plan.
We're ready. All systems are go. We hope everything remains the same in terms of security arrangements and everything else. But Kensington Oval is truly the Mecca. We've done pretty well up to now. The crowds have been good. Everything has worked. Security has worked well. There's some issues that we had with things like park and ride and whatever. Those things were resolved. And all in all, the team Barbados has performed well. In terms of the preparation team and the actual event staff, everybody's performed well up to now.
He also said final preparations were being done on the playing surface and the general facility.
When it comes to pitch and field preparation, that is going on, being finalized. All the cleaning up and everything that we need to do is also going on in and around Kensington.
When our team visited Kensington Oval, some fans were spotted purchasing tickets and gave their predictions.
We're still excited. My son really loves cricket. We all love cricket. The family loves cricket, so we are here for that.
I think India are going to take it.
I feel South Africa should win.
But you're excited buying your ticket nevertheless?
Yeah, I buy a ticket for Afghanistan. I like it. I buy the other stand now.
Other stand now.
It will be South Africa versus India in Saturday's World Cup final. And all eyes will be on Barbados with close to 1 billion fans watching. The first ball is set for 10:30 a.m. Anmar Goodrich-Boyce, CBC Sports.
The Business Report is brought to you with the kind compliments of the National Insurance and Social Security Service. More than a contribution, it's your lifeline.
In business tonight, more Barbadians are opting to purchase their event tickets online. Head of Technology with booking platform Ticket Nation, Terry Jones, has confirmed the trend.
Payments is a major part of the ticketing space, and we know that traditional box offices would have a lot of cash operations, but we've noticed a shift towards the digital side. So we're happy that we have this option now that is less fee-based, because we don't necessarily have to use the Visa and MasterCard options, which is kind of a catch-22 because they know that's part of your product base. But keeping it local, and we're able then to reduce the fees charged to the customer and make it a better experience all around.
Mr. Jones was speaking during a media launch to announce Pace Digital as the official digital payments partner of the Cropover Festival. Senior Business Development Officer with the National Cultural Foundation, Andre Hoyt, says it will benefit patrons as well as stakeholders, including musicians, bands and vendors.
They all continue to be central to the commerce activities that enable the festival to do very well. And they want to be able to exist in environments that are hassle-free and secure so that they can conduct the trade that they need to. And so one of the key objectives of the National Cultural Foundation for the past few years was how do we help to go cashless in conducting these activities during the festival.
Director of Operations Kerry Mapp used that occasion to launch Pace Digital's Events Box Office service.
The service is exclusive to mobile partners that are promoters of various events. We are pleased to launch this service with Mikey's Reunion, Isla Mass Breakfast Party and Dirty Road Jam, All Stars Calypso Tent, Ross Entertainment, and for persons interested outside of Cropover, we have Pearls Dance Academy's 2024 dance production, Take the Stage. What is unique about this box office service? It is part of our loyalty rewards to our Pace Digital family. Tickets will be offered at discounted prices exclusively when using the Pace Digital mobile app.
First Citizens Bank is once more title sponsor for Pan Fusion come July the 13th after a 4-year hiatus. And the bank will continue to be all about the plays for Cropover as the National Cultural Foundation celebrates 50 years of the festival. The bank's Chief Executive Officer, Claire Jordan, says supporting culture is important to her team.
It is the cornerstone of the group's corporate social responsibility. It is our belief that festivals such as Cropover enhance the very fabric of our communities and, by extension, the lives of our Bajan people. This, the Sweetest Summer Festival, plays a pivotal role in nation building, bringing people from all sectors of society together as one community. It provides opportunities for participation in art, music, and culture. And that was some incredible music, Shante. Thank you very much. It creates income-earning opportunities for entrepreneurs and facilitates an environment of social cohesion where locals and tourists can experience the uniqueness and warmth of our culture.
Meanwhile, the NCF's Chief Executive Officer, Carol Roberts, invites everyone to take part in the festivities. She says First Citizens approached the NCF and offered to be sponsors once the show returned.
Whether you're part of the production team, you're part of the performing cast, you're a sponsor, or you're one of the patrons, we outside, as we have, that's the phrase that has been coined due to the pandemic. So let us really and truly live that phrase.
She also hints that the 50th anniversary band, which will be led by renowned musician Nicholas Branker, will perhaps see a name change with both veteran and upcoming performers. Time now for that second half in sports. The semi-finalists are set in the National Sports Council's Baiko Primary Schools football competition after the quarterfinals were completed today. 2 games went down to penalty kicks, with Hillaby Turner's Hall defeating Wilkie Cumberbatch 3-2 and West Terrace getting past All Saints 4-3. The other semi-finalists will be St. Cyprian's and Arthur Smith. Anne-Marie Burke reports now on their quarterfinal wins.
St. Mary's in the red had to get past St. Cyprian's, and that was proven a tall task as the St. Cyprian's keeper was not letting anything pass him. Here they attempt again, but there's no way St. Cyprian's will be conceding today.
And then all it took was a single goal in the 13th minute as Avery Brathwaite would get the last touch into the back of the net, since Cyprians are semi-finals bound with the simple 1-0 win. It was then Arthur Smith in the striped jerseys up against St. Winifred's, and this is very early stages of the game, 2 minutes to be exact, when Tazario Holdemore struck from long range and the celebrations began. 13 minutes later, things will be level. The corner kick comes in, and what looked like a lot of green jerseys saw Xander Angling being attributed the goal. St. Winifred's now make it a 1-1 encounter. But not for long. 2 minutes later, Arthur Smith would take back command as Rommel Salma gets the pass and takes him, and is on target. The score is now 2-1. And to seal the deal late in the game in the 37th, tardy defense gave Nathan Carrington the opening he needed. Arthur Smith head to the semi-finals with the 3-1 win over St. Winifred's. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
Queen's College defeated Providence by a 29-point margin when the National Sports Council's Under-17 basketball competition continued this week. CBC's Anmar Goodrich-Boyce reports.
We pick up the action in the final quarter, where QC in the yellow bibs were leading 35-12 at this stage. Queens in possession. Good defense here by Providence, but Dario Rice goes outside the three-point line and delivers the goods off the backboard. And in QC, we're using the home court advantage brilliantly. Joel Collins is easy on the eye and makes the layup. Providence were finding buckets hard to come by, but they managed to put points on the board at times. Ari Chaboy gets the shot to go, even with a hand to the face. He scored 5 points in the contest, but QC were fully dominating. Collins again with a floater, and it's good. This perhaps was the best move of the game for Providence. Jaw-dropping dribbling skills by Owen Buchanan. And how about the bucket? That's marvelous. So nice. Let's look at it twice. Outstanding. Providence made some changes with Sion Piniat entering the fray. Can she get the shot to go? Yes, she can. 2 more points for Providence. But regardless, QC were too far ahead and went on to be 50-21 winners over Providence. Anmar Goodrich-Boyce, CBC Sports.
And that's our time tonight. Thank you for spending the time with us. Join the team in wishing all of you a safe weekend. Good night.